the answer right here, ladies and gentlemen, to everything that ails you. Now step right up.
One who acts like a doctor about his salves and remedies. The cruel practice of making money on people's worries feared throughout the years as quackery.
I said cure of backache, nervousness.
So I heard that CDC, they their ultimate plan for like world catastrophe is a zombie apocalypse. Is that true, or is that just something I heard? Because if you have a zombie,
Sounds right. I would say that's true.
because fuck, I sound like an idiot.
So, like, when the zombie apocalypse happens, like, do you go shoddy or do you go with your soul right?
Jeez. Yeah. So, hey, welcome back on that note to another quick quack here. We're going to update you guys on the coronavirus. We already did a quick one about what the coronavirus is. We just kind of wanted to tell you where it's at since the last time we recorded. I have here that the coronavirus death toll tops 600 and the number of cases past 31,000. Now, those may not be accurate numbers. As you know, China has been sort of all over the place with reporting this. I believe we're still at 11 cases confirmed in the United States, with only one of those being person to person from here, if I remember correctly. So again, it's one of those things. And the interesting part is, so if you look at and one thing I really wanted to bring up here, and actually go check out the CorConsult Rx podcast. They made a good point over there on this, is that the coronavirus, the numbers are going to look scary right now because it's going to look like a very high mortality rate compared to the flu. But in reality, it's probably not, because only the sickest people are going to the doctor. So people who have coronavirus, the novel coronavirus, we're of course talking about the novel coronavirus Wuhan strain, that is all in the news. The people who are the sickest are only ones are going to go to the doctor, and those people are going to be at a higher risk to die from this. So that's the main thing.
And it's good that you brought that up, because I think some people are confused. They think that this is some kind of like a brand new thing. Like we've dealt with coronavirus for a long time. This is just
you've probably had one in your life, or
really?
Several. Oh yeah.
So like remember SARS from we were a lot younger back then, but SARS, that was a type of coronavirus. There was one called MERS, it was like a Middle Eastern version of it. That was also a coronavirus. There's 7 different types of coronaviruses that can infect humans, maybe even more. And there's several others that infect animals, camels, bats, all kinds of things like that.
Right.
So this is just a new strain, a new version, like a subgroup of a subfamily, if you will, that's been discovered. It's just a slight mutation, but it's like 70% similar, like genomically, compared to the SARS rather.
SARS. And I think it's MERS. I don't know. Yeah. You guys, Cole on your podcast, I think said MERS, which I don't know if that's. I'm
pretty
sure
positive that's not how you say it.
Pretty sure it's MERS, but I can't say for sure. You guys are definitely a more educational podcast than this one. This is more pharmacy fart jokes than evidence-based medicine. But yeah, that was the other point I kind of wanted to talk about in this little quick quack, as we like to call them.
Quick quack, I like that.
Yeah, is that the common cold? Like, there's a reason why we can't cure the common cold, because it's just tons of different viruses that there's just not, no use. It's not severe enough to bother with. Some of those rhinoviruses, as we like to group them in, some of those are coronavirus. So I listened to a podcast, and a doctor on there was saying, they're like, it's not uncommon for me to do a nasal swab and it come back to be coronavirus, and the person is just a cold. Oh. So this is just a new one. And, there's a lot of hype about it because it's new, because it seems to be, spreading pretty fast, and because it has that incubation period. What was it, 7 to 10 days?
14 days it can go
up to 14 days you can go without symptoms.
You can spread it for quite a bit before you actually realize you even have it.
That's probably the scariest thing I think about it, would be that incubation period. So you could have someone who came from China, they've been fine for 2 weeks, and then this whole time they've been infecting people, and they don't show symptoms until 2 weeks later.
You said 10 people in the U.S.? I know one's in Charlotte. Is that mostly on the East Coast?
You can actually go to the CDC's website, and they'll give you a map of all the people. It's spread all over.
Oh, okay.
But it's nothing to worry about. Those people are quarantined, and they're fine. I think they're coming out of...
They're zombies?
They're coming out of...
Okay.
Yeah. What's that basement they have on the Resident Evil where all the things come out of?
Right.
That's actually one interesting thing I wanted to bring up too.
Resident Evil.
Yes.
Right.
We talked about Resident Evil with this one, the first one, but
My favorite video game.
so there is a health center, like a disease center in the
Raccoon
Hubei
City?
province of China, where they deal. It's kind of like our CDC,
Yeah.
And the icon on it looks exactly like the Umbrella
oh, the
Corporation
Umbrella
icon.
Corporation. Does it?
12 cases now in the U.S.
Oh shit!
We got
Here
another
we go.
one. We got another one. Here it
Never mind,
comes.
guys. Batten down the hatches. This will be our last episode because I am not leaving. Well, no, we can podcast from inside. We're good.
Oh yeah, we're fine. We're.
I mean, I
still
have like
the sign says it right there. We're on the air.
60 days, 60 days worth of food. You know, I'm like a doomsday prepper, so we're good
Yeah.
to go.
I could see you being a doomsday prepper for sure,
dude. I got
Dude,
like
I'm
a week's
screwed
worth.
in a doomsday type situation. I got like maybe a day and a half worth of food. And I'm,
Everything to go.
Because then like what is that thing where they bring it to my house, Shipley or one of those things?
Oh my God.
My wife's real into that, and so like
Yeah.
if they stop running, I'm in trouble. I don't know what to do.
I love that. You guys are like you guys are so busy and you do well for yourselves. So you're just like, we don't have time to cook all the time. Everything we're going to have delivered. Wait
I
a
always
minute. I
feel so
needed
lazy
one
with
Kleenex.
that, but-
Hold on. Come on. Somebody call these people to bring me one Kleenex. I got to sneeze.
Literally, we have somebody that comes from Target and brings us a bunch of crap. You know, and I'm like, how lazy have we got?
I'll bring you stuff if you pay me.
I mean, we pay them.
What do you
Just
want,
go work for that person.
What
Yeah.
literally do you want?
He can be your personal assistant. There you go.
I can
amazing.
bring you Kleenexes or Mexican super meth, whatever.
Wow. What about
We've not been
crocodile?
offered that.
Okay, so this is any other updates you want to talk about other than crocodile?
Crocodile.
It does, but essential oils will work for coronavirus, right?
Oh, definitely.
No,
You heard
they
it right
won't.
here on the
You heard it
Quackheads
here
podcast.
first,
That's
ladies and gentlemen.
QAA.
Oh my god. No, yeah. So I mean, don't panic over this one. It's kind of like a cold, or it's a little more severe than a cold. It's going to be something comparable, kind of like to a flu. Respiratory symptoms. You're going to want to wash your hands. I know those little surgical masks are basically sold out everywhere, but you don't need them right now over here unless you're going to be around someone who's been in China recently. I wouldn't recommend going to China.
So, and basically the way to kind of keep in mind is, like for instance, one of the cases that was like the first person in China to be affected, he had some type of, I believe it was liver cancer, he had cirrhosis. He was a really sick guy. Like it wasn't like he just came in as some triathlon.
So sicker,
and
old
came
people,
in. Yeah, it was
babies.
usually a little bit, and not even old people, but just 45 and older, so
Sickly.
middle age, but like usually have some sort of comorbidity.
Yeah.
It's not going to be your average person coming in. It's this time for this.
So yeah, comorbidity would be some other kind of disease for us layman's out there.
COPD, stuff like that.
They have asthma, they've got COPD, they've got ain't nobody got time for that bronchitis,
Yeah.
diabetes, any other sort of other disease conditions they have. That's what a comorbidity would be, which sounds very morbid.
Yeah, it does.
Don't use osteocilium for it; it won't work. Elderberry syrup probably
Doesn't really
won't
work
do
for flu either. That's just
No.
great.
Oh,
Yeah.
but what will work for that? If you're afraid of, I did see this mentioned a lot of places. If you're worried about coronavirus, if you're freaking out about it, go get a flu shot, because it's perfectly logical to think if you have, fears of the coronavirus, you can actually do something to prevent the flu, and it's get a flu shot. And the flu is ramping up. I don't know about where you live, but pretty much everywhere in America, it's on the rise, and we're seeing a lot of Tamiflu prescriptions in the pharmacy. So get your flu shot. Wash your hands. Continue to exercise, drink lots of water. That'll keep your immune system happy. Not macro doses of vitamin C. Don't do that. That's can be dangerous.
So I literally
Regular doses.
just
of
got a
vitamin
flu
C.
shot today in February. So like I took all my medical knowledge and I just applied none of it to myself. I
That's
literally
typically what happens.
in between patients today, I was like, you know what? I haven't gotten a flu shot yet. I literally had one of the nurses just
How did you pull
stick me
that
real.
off?
I just took my jacket and like had my nurse stick me
No,
real
but
quick,
how
and
didn't
that
you
was
get
that.
it until now?
I just
Yeah.
busy, bro.
Yeah, well,
You are busy.
I'm preparing for the super bug, so
I'm going to bring one and sneak
What's
it when
up
you're not
with
paying
that?
attention.
So they had a new flu vaccine got approved yesterday.
It's called Super China or Super Mexican Meth Flu. What's that? What? There's a new one?
New flu vaccine got
Oh,
approved yesterday.
You got time. Go ahead and spit that out real fast. and we'll-
It's a monovalent, so it only covers one strain, but it's the H5N1. It's type A influenza version of influenza. It's pretty gnarly, and so it's a new vaccine that came out just in particular for that type of. It's one that can cause. It's causing a pandemic, and so they made a vaccine
Oh, man, the
specifically
pharmacy's
targeting
gonna
that.
Love that.
So
because then there's something else.
It's called Audens.
Audens.
I'm pretty sure that's how you pronounce it, but yeah, it came out yesterday.
Cool. Wow, breaking news here. Pop, 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 pop.
So much gold on this podcast.
I'm telling you, man, you guys don't have to go anywhere else other than the CorConsult Rx podcast.
Right.
And, of course, Talk Murder to Me, our sister podcast on the...
Sister podcast.
They'll tell you about the other side of it once,
They
you
go
know.
hand in
It talks
hand.
about murders and serial
You'll learn a
killers.
lot. I mean, I learned a lot, listening to it. Yeah, that's also on the TacoCast network. So, if you guys enjoyed this Quick Quacks here, we got Dr. Mike Corvino, Dr. Will the Pill, and John. We really appreciate you listening. Make sure and check us. Go hit the subscribe button. Check us out on all social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Tell your friends, and as always, keep calm, quack on, and don't worry too much about coronavirus.